Okay, let me fix my hair. Hello, 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 you all. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there who this is relevant to. And trying to see what angle this phone is recording from. I'm about to get my exercise on, right? You all know that I believe health is bigger than wealth. Health is life. And here recently, the topic of credit has come back um, in front of me, right? People are asking me about credit. For those who don't know, I was formerly known as the Queen of Credit. Started out doing credit repair. I made more doing it than my 9 to 5, but my 9 to 5 ended up being my comfort place, my escape route from the stress of helping people who did not know, right? The power of credit and the purpose of credit. Let me say that again. The stress of helping people who did not know the power of credit and the purpose of credit. I mean, I literally would get phone calls at midnight on Saturday night and all times on Sundays from people. And sometimes I would answer the phone just to see where this person's mindset was. Like, why would you contact me Saturday night at midnight? And my friend guy at the time would tell me, he said, look, just don't answer the phone. Why do you answer the phone? And I would say, because it's the principle of the thing. Who would call somebody Saturday night at midnight? And so I then learned that most people, not all people, because some people they just had okay, my phone went out. Let me slouch down. 90% of the people that had bad credit scores also had a bad mentality, mentally, about how to conduct business, how business work. And oftentimes they just wanted credit to get something else that they couldn't afford, right? They wanted good credit score because I'm trying to buy this house or I want to buy this new car, right? Another vehicle or, something they couldn't afford. And they didn't know the power, again, and the purpose of credit, right? Whether you are watching this live or on the replay, I want you to put the power and purpose of credit. So, who is credit really for, right? What do I mean by the power and purpose of credit? And someone give me a sound check. Let me know if you can hear me. Well, if you had $1 million in the bank, if you were cash flow positive, my question to you would be, would you really be thinking about your credit score, right? If you had $1 million in the bank, cash, or if you had $1 million in an investment account, would your credit score really matter to you? And so credit really is for poor people, right? The Bible says a good name is better than gold or silver or riches. A good name. And then Second Kings chapter 4 is a very practical example of how credit can help get you out of a crisis. That was good, wasn't it? Yeah. Second Kings chapter 4, how credit can help get you out of a financial crisis. See, the woman was married, she was a widow. I'm assuming that her husband was the financial caretaker for the family business or the family matters. And when her husband died, she went to Elisha, and said, hey, my husband is dead and he didn't have a life insurance policy, right? He left us in debt, right? Me and my 2 sons. And now the creditors are about to come take my sons and make them work in a business for them or make them work for them. They're about to be employees. And Elijah, being a real financial deliverer, which most churches don't have, right? Some call him Alicia. He said, you know what? Instead, let's flip this. And instead of your sons working for somebody else, I'm going to teach you and show you how to position your sons to work for you in a home-based business and make them entrepreneurs for you versus employees for somebody else. That's powerful because most people tell their children, right? Most people that live paycheck to paycheck, or the poor working class, their philosophy, their mindset is when you get of age where you can be employed, go out and get a job. That's their advice to the child, right? You're 16 now. You're 18 now. Go out and get an application after school and work a job. My first job was Taco Bell, and that's all I knew, right? I'm like, look, as soon as I'm at legal age to work, I need to get a job because I want to have more money than what my parents will give me, right? Well, that's all I knew. But biblically, that's not the formula for success. So Alicia, being a real financial preacher, teacher, said, open a home-based business. Most people do not know the power of structuring themselves as a corporation, as a business. People that work paycheck to paycheck, the poor working class. Okay, my internet is unstable. Of structuring themselves as a business. And so someone brought to my attention some books I ordered years ago called Meet Your Straw Man, right? Meet Your Straw Man. And I found those books. I read them years and years ago. But my only problem with people that read those books and things like that is that when they only think about discharging debt, they carry a poverty mentality. They never think about how to leverage debt, right? They only want to think about how do I get rid of debt? How do I get rid of debt? And this is a question I want you all to ask, right? Yourself. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the digital love on Facebook. Wealthy people often operate in the system. Mm-hmm. Wealthy people. They're not trying to discharge debt. They leverage debt to get assets. They have trust. They have business entities. They don't have bank accounts in their social security number. They have bank account in their business entities. They have EINs, not CPNs. Wealthy people. Robert Kiyosaki, the number one best-selling book author on personal finance, Rich Dad Poor Dad, teaches you how to be a public entity, not private. See, most people that want to be a private entity is because they're trying to get out of traffic tickets. They don't want to be pulled over by the law. They had some legal issues. But 2 Kings chapter 4, the Bible tells you how to structure yourself as a business. See, let me give you another example. Let me make it plain for you. Let me make it practical for you. Because most people don't read the Bible in a very practical way. Now that this lady flipped the script, she learned how to use the system, right? Instead of the system taking her sons and making them employees to work for them, Alicia showed her how to make her sons work for her. She had two sons. That was her legacy. And so the script was flipped. She opened up a home-based business. Alicia then told her, okay, now I want you to learn how to leverage debt. He said, go borrow, 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 borrow. That was her credit. That was debt. She didn't have any money. She wasn't in positive cash flow. She was in debt. The creditors was about to come take her and her sons. He said, let me show you how to leverage credit, how to leverage your debt. Go and borrow some pots from your neighbors. Borrow as much as you can. In other words, he said, get the maximum credit limit that you can get, right? And he said, I want you to borrow as much as you can. Max it out. Not a few. I want you to go for the business credit line, not your personal credit line, right? See, business credit cards can give you six figures, 100,000, 50,000. Personal credit cards might give you 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, right? And he said, now start a home-based business. Shut the door to your house. Start a home. See, most people don't know the power of starting a home-based business versus a brick and mortar business, right? As Les Brown says, long gone are the days of brick and mortar. We're now brick and mortar. We're now here with click and order. Let me say that again because I messed it up. Les Brown said, long gone are the days of brick and mortar. We are now in the era, in the time of click and order. Understand the power of a digital home-based business and how that'll add more money to your paycheck. It will maximize your paycheck. Okay, so it will maximize your paycheck. I'm trying to, my internet is getting weak, so I'm gonna get off this live stream. And so, usually, again, people that discharge debt, they only have a poverty mentality, right? They only have a poverty mentality versus learning how to use that, to leverage that, to invest and to get assets. Most people only have a consumer mindset. They mean they only know how to spend money. They don't know how to grow their money, right? Let me add this on the bottom of my screen so I can. If you want to know how to leverage and credit and use your debt, your credit profile, to how to use the home-based business to maximize your current paycheck so you can increase your cash flow. See, that's another strategy that was used. He increased her cash flow. Most people only go for the increased credit score without increasing their cash flow, which means inevitably you're going to be back in the same position of bad credit again. You're going to be in a perpetual cycle of bad credit. So text debt to 331-444-5556. Let me say it again. Text debt, DEBT, to 331-444-5556. And so what you want to do is learn how to use the system. Learn how to beat them at their own game, per se. Learn how to build trust and corporations and open up LLCs versus trying to just get a poverty mentality of discharging debt. Know the difference between cash flow debt versus consumer debt. See, consumer debt is when you use your credit cards, when you take out a loan to just get personal things like a vehicle or a house. Like, why die with a 700 credit score and you never use your credit score, your personal credit score, to get cash flow and perpetuity income? Why not leverage your credit score? Why not leverage your SSN that created into a EIN to get assets so you can get continuity cash flow and perpetuity income? Because this is the game that most people do not know how to play. Again, wealthy people play the game in the system. Poor people try to play the game, national citizen, strong man outside the system. Learn how to play. Nothing wrong with that if you just try to get out a traffic ticket or, you have a criminal record or something, I guess. But why not learn to play the game in the system? Because that's the way you create more wealth. That's the way you increase your cash flow. It depends on which one you want to put your energy in. You want to put your energy in to get richer, or you want to put your energy into getting poor. That's the question. Am I gonna try to learn the secrets of the straw man to discharge debt and get poorer in the system, or I'm gonna learn the secrets how to leverage my debt and get richer in the system? Thank you for that. He said his sister know her stuff. It's hours and years of studying and practicing. So again, text that to 331-444-5556 if you want to learn how to use this system. If you have bad credit, negative cash flow, if you want to learn how to use the 475 tax deductions, right? Let me give you this example. I'm gonna make it real simple for you. Um, Using the system, for example, if you have a home-based business, like the lady in 2 Kings chapter 4 established, open, did, now you can pay your children or your child, or you can get a tax deduction, not a tax credit. Now I know the difference. For up to $14,000 per year. $14,000 per child on your tax return, right? On your tax return, you can claim that deduction. See, if you're an employee, you just have exemptions. Once you have a home-based business, you have more power. You have deductions, right? 475 versus 9 tax exemption as an employee. Why would you earn money under your Social Security? Why would you put your paycheck under your Social Security banking account versus a business bank account, right? But anyway, and so now when that lady goes make grocery, or when you go make groceries, you can make groceries either for your child or children or your employees. See, when you have a home-based business, your children become your employees. So just a trip to the grocery store is tax deductible now and can be a tax write-off because you're purchasing food for your employees versus your children. Thank you, Judith, a longtime follower. The power and purpose of credit. This is what most people don't know. So if you're going to put that energy into reading straw man and everything, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with knowing both sides of the game. Nothing wrong with that. But put that same or more energy into understanding how to also beat them at their own game, per se, at being a public citizen versus trying to be a private, and using your credit to then get business credit and then get bank accounts under EIN versus your SSN, and how to use credit to get assets that gives you perpetuity income, continuity cash flow versus liability, things that take money out of your pocket versus putting money into your pocket, making your child or children entrepreneurs and not employees, where they work for you and not work for somebody else, and make that CEO rich. But now you become the CEO of your household, and you're also teaching your children business skills and strategies at the same time, like the Second Kings chapter 4 woman. I'm logging off, you all. Make sure you are subscribed to me on YouTube. The number to text debt to learn these strategies is 331-444-5556. Have a great remaining of your day. This is Mother's Day weekend, so all the mothers that are watching me, who this applies to, happy Mother's Day as well. Queen out. Make sure you like and share this video.